Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from Techdragon.info, and today we take a look at the M7, the American Tier 5 Medium. Now, this tank is, how do I put it, difficult. A lot of people hate this tank, and to some extent for a good reason. So, let's take a look at the tech tree first, because that is partially probably why they hate it. You get a light tank, you get an M3 light tank, M5 light tank, medium tank, light tank, medium, medium, heavy. So this is probably the weirdest tree out there, by far. But the M7 is just, it's one of those tanks that is quite situational, and you don't play it as a medium. So, oh, and one note, the M3 Steward, M5 Steward, they suck. I don't care what anybody says, they suck. With the M5 Steward, I could not passive scout. The thing would not light up anything. And things like Cromwells and that sort of stuff always got the spots in, while I couldn't with this thing. I hated it, and I used free experience to get past it. That's how bad it was, and I never used free experience to get past tanks, but these two are just completely unplayable in my book. The gun selection is crap, and they just don't function properly enough as scouts. But back to the topic at hand, the M7. So that's where it's situated. Well, let's take a look at what you have here. Tracks give you 2 more degrees, I do believe, 46 to 48, which is pretty good. Engine, depending on what you've done, but this engine comes from the Sherman, the M7 Priest. So if you Hellcat, okay, so in my case, I have the M7, I've had the Priest a long time ago, I've had the E2, I've had the E8, and I've had the Hellcat. So I had this engine researched a long time ago. So if you have any of the other trees, basically, you have this engine already. So when I started off, I already had the top radio, which again, T29 I have, M7 I've had, T32 I have, anything else? No. So yeah, if you have some of the other American tanks, you already have these two researched. Now, because I have more in these American trees already, I already had this gun researched and this gun researched. So let's take a quick look at the gun selection here. We'll grab the stock one and the 6-pounder. So, stock is a heap of crap. 56 pen in tier 5. This is the gun you get on the M3 Steward and the M2 medium tank. What the frack? It's a pile of shit. So, yeah, the stock gun is garbage. Now, the first upgrade, which is the 75mm M2, you can use an M3 Lee. Well, the M3 Lee is considered to be a pretty shitty tank, so having the same gun as that, with this kind of piss poor accuracy, yeah, no. That's pretty bad still. Rate of fire is decent. The damage is acceptable for tier 5. Not overwhelming, but acceptable. Penetration is lacking. So we go over to the next one. 92 pen, slightly better. 110 damage, same. Slightly better accuracy. Slightly worse aiming time. Key. And the rate of fire is pretty much the same. Let me double check that. In case you don't know, if you hover over a tank, if you have like two stats like this, you have two different rate of fires here. If you actually hover over the gun in the tree of that particular tank, you can see the actual rate of fire. So 15.79. So it's that one, which is actually rounded up. Oh, liars. And the other one is 50.79 as well. So you have the slow rate of fire out of the two. Goody. So, pretty much less than stutter guns. The accuracy is still pretty shit. Let's see. 0.46, 0.47. Horrifically bad accuracy. So, when we take a look at the 6-pounder, It's the first gun you can get. You can mount it on the stock turret, which is nice, and without having the tracks. So if you want to get past this tank or play it or whatever, I would almost recommend just spending the free experience, the 1.8k, and getting this gun. Or alternatively, you can use this as a passive scout, put on a camo net and binoculars and sit in a bush and get experience that way. I hate that, so not for me, but just saying. So, yeah, the rate of fire 26, so massively faster than anything else you can get. The penetration 105, the best out of all these guns. Damage only 75, which is yeah compared to all the other ones, but it's still a lot better than the stock. The accuracy 0.43 is the second best accuracy, because these two are shit, and this one is only marginally better. Aiming time of, let's see which one it is, the 2.1 seconds feels long. When I use it, it feels long, but that's because of the reload speed. And the gun is actually pretty light compared to some of the other ones, so let's get rid of these. So, in my opinion, the 6-pounder is the best gun. Best rate of fire for everything. And there. What I forgot to mention is the engine upgrade goes from 350 horsepower to 460, and the turret gives you 40 more HP, and view range goes up by 10. So the turret is a nice update. It does become slightly bigger though. Nope, wrong one. That one. This one is a side profile, at least smaller target. The armor on the turret goes up only slightly, and I would say even not even noticeably. You actually lose some traverse speed on your turret, so yeah, but the traverse speed is still pretty good at 46, so that's not bad. Your load time does not increase or decrease actually with the turret. Some turrets do, this one doesn't. Anyways, so this tank, what the hell is it about? Well, let me just take you into a replay and demonstrate it, because there's no other way to describe it. I can describe it, but showing you is always better, so let's hop into the replay and we'll take a look. But before we jump into a replay, I actually want to show you my stats on this tank, and also give you a little disclaimer. I am by no means an expert at this tank. As you can see, I've only done 8 battles in it, but I think my experience in some of the other tanks I've played over the, I want to say years. I've been playing for almost 2 years now. So I think the experience I have in other tanks helped with this, and as you can see, I got a mastery badge. So I've killed 12 people in 8 games, which isn't too bad, I would say. Hit ratio of 62%. The gun is not that accurate, and I do tend to try and snipe with it a little bit. Survived 62%, 5 out of 8 battles, not bad, even though this thing is extremely weak and dies in one shot. So I more or less consider myself lucky more than anything with these games, but I guess there's some skill involved. I'll give myself some credit. So let's take a look at the replay and see what I mean. Here we have our replay. Let me speed this up at the beginning here before we actually get into place. But I'm not really going to talk about the replay itself as much as how I think this tank should be played and how I play it. As I stated before, a lot of people hate this tank, and if you go to the forum and then look at American mediums, you'll see a lot of hate. Some people who like it, but most people don't. So, what I think about this tank and how I think you should play it. Well, not like that, not getting shot. That's rule number 1, don't get shot. But the thing about this tank is, it's called a medium, but it's not. It really isn't. It's a light tank. And not even awesome at that. I guess the best comparison to this tank, which actually might have helped me as well, is the Cromwell. Surprisingly. No armor, fast, and the gun is less than stellar, but works for sides and flanks. And, you know, that sort of stuff. So, I think a Cromwell is the best. Pretty much a Cromwell and the Type 62. Your best comparisons. So, at the moment I'm using it for sniping. This gun is highly inaccurate. The next patch will help with this a little bit, but I don't know if you can hear that. That's a helicopter coming over relatively low. Dang. I'm not sure what that was. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, easily distracted. So the way I play this tank is a flanker. So I look for tanks that are off to the side, you know, that are alone, that I can shoot in the side. And doing this while trying not to get detected. And if you get detected, get out. You do not want to be in a direct firefight with this thing. It's kind of like backstabbing people. Doesn't sound nice, but that's what it is. You don't want to give them the opportunity to shoot at you, because you don't have the best health pool out of all tanks, and you certainly don't have the best armor. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if some light tanks have better armor than this thing. It's just not armored. So that's why I also didn't discuss the armor, because there is nothing to discuss. The gun is the main feature, the gun and the speed in this tank. Okay, so here I'm getting shot by the T-14, and what do? I don't engage with him, because I know I can't take him out. There's that bloody helicopter again. What are you looking for? Go away. Anyways, so I know I can't take that T-14 out, so I just GTFO. Don't stick around for it to get shot to crap. And what I need to do is close the gap between us. Because I'm not going to win long range, because I need to either hit his weak points or hit his rear and sides. And track him, possibly. So I just leave him. There's nothing I can do, and I just move on. And that's what you should do. Don't stick around. Keep moving. You know, at times, if you have a nice sniping spot from the side, just stick around and be sneaky. So right here, I'm coming up behind an artillery, and I know there's another one. Here you see the inaccuracy of the gun. I mean, that missed. So I'm using auto aim here, so I can just move around, so I don't have to sit still. Have the other artillery shoot me. And even with auto aim, just wait till it's zoomed in as far as it will go, and then shoot. Now, I get shot in the face by artillery. Don't really fancy using my repair kit. But anyways, so what I do with this tank is I flank. I run around. I take bush cover. So really use it as a semi-aggressive light scout tank. You have 480 meters view range. That's pretty decent for tier 5. It really is. So this is more of a light tank than it is a medium, which is sort of the opposite of the Type 62, which is a light tank but plays more like a medium. And they both play relatively similar, somewhere in between. So doing the old running around somebody, circling them to death, definitely works in this tank, and I'll show you that in a little bit. It's definitely one of the things you want to learn. Auto aim is your friend. Whenever you're circling someone, auto aim is so much better at the moment. Now, I'm not quite sure in 8.6 how this will change with the stability, and it might actually change, but right now your gun just bounces all over the place and it's worthless with circling, so usually auto aim is your better choice while circling. As long as you're not shooting at the front and need to hit weak points, but let's see right here, I engage auto aim right there, and I just shoot one for the money, just why not? You never know, might as well shoot and I'll have reload. Okay, so here's where I actually take care in my shots. And I'll light him on fire, one more into him to basically finish him off, and he's dead. So, that game, I think it was a pretty good game. Got my mastery badge within 6 battles after getting this tank. I spotted the 2 artillery and damaged a whole bunch of people. 1200 damage and 800, almost 900 experience single. and reasonable accurate, but a lot of missed shots. 17k money, also not too shabby. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.